Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 158, written by Charmingjanitorxxx. They're teenagers and bored. Following this creepy group was exciting, but as they were soon to find out, it was extremely risky. Yes, this will sound strange. Yes, this will seem utterly unbelievable, but I was there with my friends. To this day, whenever it's brought up, it's so odd that we all just agree we'll never know or understand what happened. 22 years ago on Halloween, my high school girlfriend, myself, and two friends were driving around. I was the first one with a car. We always were depressed 90s kids that would listen to the Smiths or goth rock, and before we could drive, we'd meet up at the graveyard and hang out. So it's Halloween. Couldn't have been past 9 p.m. I drive into the graveyard, which is sprawling. Lots of mausoleums and graves, and a big patch of land way in the back with hills and not much else. This was the scariest part of the graveyard, probably because it was secluded and away from the street and headlights of cars. We drive and see the usual graves. My girlfriend says we should drive all the way in the back, which we do. But then, as the car crests this one hill, we see candles and obviously people, but they all have animal masks on. They all immediately start running to their cars, but not in fear. I couldn't see anyone's face, but everyone was wearing black. They seemed excited, not afraid. I lock our doors. We watch them get in their cars, about 7 in total. Being dumb and bored, we decided to follow them. We think it'll be hilarious to follow them. Where are they going? Is there a cult? Who cares? We were bored teenagers. As we follow them, they begin to head out further to a place called Burnt Store Road. The street name is self-explanatory. There was a store once, and it burned down. Now the scary thing is, we were all laughing and starting to get creeped out. We're getting more into a desolate area with no streetlights. No houses were even out there at the time. As we're following the cars, we see the one furthest up ahead turn on their left blinker. Blink, blink. But then every car turned on their left blinker in perfect time with the other car. First car turns on blinker, and before it can even blink 3 times, the next car has theirs on. What was weird is that all the blinkers synced up perfectly, and then we all stopped laughing. We're still following. We take a side road that goes who the hell knows where. The music is turned down, and now we're discussing just turning around. The feeling in the air was just ominous, quite suddenly. We follow them for another mile, with all their blinkers still synced up perfectly, and they begin driving up this, not a hill, but a very large constructed, almost sand dune looking thing. This was a time where the land was being dug up to make a river or something. I stopped the car. I decided this is all just too weird and we don't want to see what's on the hill, with this weird fucking circus of clown cars with all their blinkers going. We turn around and begin going the way we came from, which is still miles and miles of nothing. No streetlights, no house lights, not even lines for lanes in the road. The miles tick by and our mood lightens. We start laughing and playing music again. As a joke, I flick off my high beams because I'm an idiot. My girlfriend finally has enough and yells to turn the lights back on. The first thing we see is a very large old clawfoot bathtub directly blocking our path, taking up what would be 2 lanes of road. That tub wasn't there the first time we drove out, and there was only one way in or out for us to get where we were going. We get out of the car. Nothing is funny anymore. We move the tub with a lot of effort off the road. If a car hit it, it would be an absolute disaster. We all got home safely, but were those animal masked people baiting us? Did they purposefully just wait for people to find them and then have someone place the tub there? And the blinker synchronization was just so odd, along with this giant-like hill those cars were so swiftly driving up. Case notes, file number 158. This just screams of either a cult or just an organized kidnapping scheme. That kind of synchronization on their blinker lights is actually no joke. Give it a try Try coordinating anything, even with a group of friends you've known for a long time. It's hard. It takes intense, dedicated practice. So that's a small detail that means a lot. As for the bathtub, my guess is there was a group behind you that planted it there, and probably had more than one to guarantee you couldn't escape in time. The fact you turned around when you did wasn't part of the scheme. Well, that's my guess anyways. It certainly gives off of occult vibes. There are crazy people out there, so I'm glad you guys were safe after all. Case file number 159, written by FoolTemptress. A dog in great hunger with a dash of vanishment. I have several small dogs. They all get fed in the master bathroom at home, but one of them in particular, an adorably fat Chiweenie named Luna, gets put in my closet to eat so she doesn't bully the other dogs out of their food. She isn't very happy that she's on a diet and will gladly starve the other dogs to appease her endless appetite. One morning when I went to put her carefully measured kibble into her bowl, which again is in the closet, she was there, eagerly dancing around my legs, but I noticed that her dog bowl was gone. Thinking maybe she moved it from its usual spot after I fed her the night before, I looked everywhere in the closet, under the low-hanging clothes, anywhere she might have hidden it. Nothing. It was just gone. Having no other choice at the moment, since Luna would be most distressed if there was even a slight delay in her getting her breakfast, I put her kibble on the carpet in the closet so she could still eat now, and made a mental note to get her another bowl. Doggy dinner time rolls around. I have a new bowl and another carefully measured scoop of kibble. I open the closet to feed her, and there is her dog bowl. The original one, exactly where it usually is, where it's supposed to be, like it hadn't just returned from some otherworldly jaunt. While admittedly, this is minor compared to some of the posts on here, this sort of thing is happening a lot since I moved into my current property. Things are constantly disappearing, although not all of them reappear. I know where I live to be Native American territory, and I just discovered I'm near a ley line. Maybe that's why? Case notes, file number 159. So of course my first thought as I was reading this is that Luna just hid the bowl spectacularly well. But it doesn't really make sense since you checked thoroughly, and the bowl was back in place later on, exactly where it's supposed to be. It wouldn't be a typical dog behavior to just hide it and then bring it back exactly where it's supposed to be. This is cool though, it's in my wheelhouse of glitches. For that reason, vanishing objects are fascinating to me, especially when they return. I'm still waiting for my damn ball to fall back to Earth from wherever it went. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, and leave any thoughts you might have down below. I always like knowing what you guys think too.